Thank you very much, Mr. Ismawan, to introduce me. And I'd like to thank you for inviting me to Asia, everybody. Above all, I'm delighted to have an opportunity to discuss the social enterprise promotion policy and its development direction in Korea. At first, I'd like to talk about the meaning of transforming economy through social enterprise in Korea. And then I'd like to talk about general concept of social enterprise. Even though you may already know well, I hope you got some lesson from the experience of the Korean of the enforcement of Social Enterprise Promotion Act. You also could know the certification systems of its Social Enterprise Promotion Act and also ODA through social enterprise. So I'd like to start from the transforming Korean economy through social enterprise. First of all, one of the present Korean government's national keynote is the happiness of the people. Yeah, it doesn't work, but via the customized employment and welfare implementation strategy, it focuses on the personal responsibility and self-help spirit. So it encourages the vulnerable social groups to cooperate with each other and involve in the economy. It is believed that this activity can contribute to creative job and expand the social service and finally develop and integrate the community. In other words, it tries to solve the social problem innovatively with civil cooperation beyond the typical way of government and market. Korea has shown unprecedented growth and has entered the top 10 economic powers of the world. However, this economic success has not been accompanied by the harmonious economic system. Now we face the problem of severance of the growth and distribution and then social welfare delivery. Korean society faced a fundamental social problem like the polarization and aging population, and especially youth unemployment. And also, we could realize just the increasing taxation could not be any solution. It is very old paradigm, and also it is not unrealizable because of the protest of the people against the tax raising. In this context, the social enterprise began to grow in Korea. They start to provide the jobs to the vulnerable people, especially to marginalized people, without having to increase taxes. Government and civil society cooperated to change the social welfare delivery system. In other words, social enterprise results from the need to efficiently create social value. Social enterprise are now the innovative form of enterprise to solving social problem. As you can see the objective and implementation process on the screen, it aims to resolve polarization, create a healthy community, and also develop a balanced economy by creating jobs and expanding social service based on the spirit of self-help and cooperation. There are certain areas for action that need to be pursued for the further development of social enterprise. At first, social enterprise should be developed by the civil society-led manner. If the development led by the government may be effective in the short term, however, there may be obstructive of vitalization of viable social enterprise in the long term. They can be sustainable in case of development based on voluntary participation or support from the private and also civil society sector. Next, social enterprise should be built on their own community. That is to say, they should reflect the community's characteristic, including market demand. Establishing community-based market based on the residents' needs is creating a definite business model. Thirdly, social enterprise should be equipped with a sustainable business model. For this, they must be prepared to seize the opportunity of the business market as developing core competence and communicating with customer constantly. Finally, an enabling ecosystem for them should be established on a national political level. The ecosystem is inclusive of public policy and also social atmosphere. In order to building an ecosystem where social enterprise can be viable and sustainable, we need policy on amicable ambience to social enterprise for human resource. So that means the social enterprise could attract and recruit and also retain the talent for the social entrepreneur. And also, we need the financial infrastructure for a social enterprise financially. Korean government makes stress on the social impact fund, and also we are going to introduce SIB, social impact bond, created by the Western country. And then definitely the government procurement, public procurement for the social enterprise market and distribution channel would be very important. I can confidently say we are not able to establish those kind of enabling ecosystem if we cannot meet these three requirements. And also now move to is the concept of social enterprise. As you already know, a social enterprise is kind of the hybrid concept of a traditional non-profit organization and also commercial company. It adopts the business measure to create the social value, to achieve the social purpose. I'd like to talk about the boundary of social economy. So you could see the social enterprise concept in the center. When I joined in the field of social enterprise in Korea, it's around just a few years ago, in 2010, I think it is very narrow sphere for the social entrepreneur in Korea. So I urge them to expand their boundary. At first, they have to collaborate to the traditional NGO. There are so many NGO organizations, including social welfare organization, especially they have some form of a foundation. And also, I think the most close friend and comrade in social economy is the cooperative. But unfortunately, until 2012, it is prohibited to build up the general cooperative or even the social cooperative in Korea. So we try to set up the framework act for the cooperative in Korea. And also the traditional business organizations, CSR activity could be one of the good source for the social entrepreneurs. So now we try to expand the boundary. So you may call it a social economy in Korea. And it's the two pictures of social enterprise. You already know, so I just skip that one. And also I'd like to talk about some background of social enterprise. As the concept of social enterprise, it took root in the West, both the United States and European country during the 1970s. They faced the energy crisis and it bring the economic downturn. So it led to the welfare retrenchment and cutback in federal funding. So the government still got control of the social welfare delivery, but they faced the financial problem. So they tried to alleviate the financial burden. And then, as you know, in the 1980s, somebody told, we remember it there as the liberalist. They tried to depend on the market force, but as you know, the profit organization could bring the polarization and poverty issue also. And then in 1990s, there the third sector's waiver. It is caused by Professor Ansgiders, of the professor of the LSD, and also the most pioneer of in this sector is, I remember, it's the Labour Party of the United Kingdom. But anyway, they try to bring to the power of the civil sector, and most NGOs try to involve in the kind of the commercial sector, but they did not meet the requirement or the demand of the citizens, the very poor social welfare. And that's why we bring about the concept of social enterprise. I'd like to explain briefly the history of the Korean social entrepreneurship. As you know, the Korean economy faced the foreign exchange crisis in 1997. Before then, we didn't have any kind of the unemployment problem. So, as you know, I worked for the Government Research Institute, the Korean Labor Institute, at that time. So we were so busy to make the unemployment measure against the social problem. At first, the Korean government tried to introduce kind of the public work scheme because we tried to expand the government expenditure, especially targeting to the marginalized people. So we provide the public work scheme to the disadvantaged people to participate in the kind of the repair the road and rivers like that, like so. But it is not kind of the sustainable job. It's just a temporary job for them. So many grassroots level activists, social workers, and community organizers, and activists for the poor, and also the cooperative peoples, calls for the concept of the social enterprise to provide sustainable job or the sustainable business space for the poor people. And then the Korean government took the issues and they initiate making the act of the social enterprise promotion. It is the 2007 the Korean government tried to make the social enterprise promotion act. At that time, the Korean Ministry of Labor took initiative. I think definitely the Korean Ministry of Social Welfare was interested in the social enterprise concept. But anyway, after taking initiative by the Ministry of Labor, there is some, I think there has been the kind of silo impact. There are no more cooperation between the ministries. That's the problem. And there was the change of the keynote for the social enterprise promotion policy in 2010. As I told, so Korea has a strong culture of top-down atmosphere. I mean, Korea is a very centralized country led by the national bureaucrat, public office. They are very able people. They are very leftly moved to take advantage on the policy making. But as I mentioned, it would be good in the short term. Led by the government official, they could make the money, they could provide subsidy and incentive to the social enterprise. But I think that it's in the long run, that could bring to the negative impact to the civil society. So I think the Korean the expert and the social entrepreneur raised the issue of civil society led would be good. Yeah. And the second one is, as I told, the innovation must be based on the community, and then the social enterprise could build up their own sustainable business model. I'd like to mention it is the world phenomenon of the social enterprise. As the UN already declared 2012 as the International Year of Cooperative, so at that time, the social entrepreneur took the chance to build up the new framework act for the cooperative. Actually, this act was passed on 2011, even though at the time is the end of the terms of 17th Korean National Congress, but they passed the new framework act on the cooperative unanimously. Every congressman agreed for that those act. So now we opened the new horizon for the social economies, and then the social enterprise has grown in stature all around the world, specifically in Europe. Social enterprise are expected a new growth engine beyond just a complementary economic activity. Relating to the department, the Ministry for Social and Solidarity Economy in France, led by the Hollande government. They are the left wing, definitely. But even in the UK, the Conservative Party tried to initiate the concept of big society, and then they created. I think they created the Big Society Fund also. Moreover, numerous European countries, including Spain, Italy, Portugal, Greece, and so on, initiated the law related to the social enterprise or social economy. The statistics also show that social economy accounts for from 5 to 10% for the total GDP, and also more than 10% of total employment in developed European countries. I think it would be very interesting for all of you to know that Korea has a very unique system of the certification in our social enterprise promotion act. As I already said, some European countries also have a kind of similar, but it is very distinguished from them by its certification system of being social enterprise in Korea. To be satisfied as a social enterprise in Korea, a candidate applicant must submit an application to the Ministry of Labor and Employment. And actually, KoSEA, my organization, performing working level tasks like the document review and inspecting the actual site. After this examination, they will require the passed at two screening, like the service committee and promotion committee. On the application should meet those seven requirement qualification defined by the Act described on the screen. If organization fulfill the minimum legal condition necessary to be certified as a social enterprise, including the realization of social purpose and profit creation through business activity does not satisfy some requirements such as profit structure, it could be designated as a preliminary social enterprise by the Ministry of other Ministry of the central government or local government. In order to be certified in a new future as a social enterprise once it make up for the necessary requirement. Social enterprises are classified into 5 types in Korean according to their social purpose. The first one is job creation, and this is most typical type, and the second one is social service provision, and then it meets the type of job creation and social service and local community contribution type, and the others. We also provide a number of service and incentive with preliminary and certified social enterprise to improve their managerial ability. For example, we provide the tax exempt for the certified social enterprise. You could see the tax benefit of 50% of corporate tax and income tax for 4 years. So it is a definite year. As you see on the screen, we achieved a very qualitative growth in Korea. And also, you could see there is, as of September 2014, 1,165 certified social enterprise. And there is, including the preliminary one, the numbers reach up to 2,600, over 2,600. And they hired 26,229 employees, and around the 60% of them comes from the vulnerable social group. And you could see the type of social enterprise by the social enterprise. The most great one is job creation type. And then you could see the industrial classification. The greatest numbers come from ETC, but the ETC means most of the social enterprise in this category is the manufacturing company. As you see, the social enterprise enjoy the benefit of the government procurement. Nowadays, many manufacturing companies try to enter into the field of social enterprise. But now that we worry about the kind of the moral hazard of the small and medium manufacturing company, not just not pursuing the social purpose, just for enjoying the public procurement advantage. The scale of assistance of Korea ranks in the middle among DAC countries that it has been increasing consistently. There has been new trend in ODA recently, ODA through social enterprise. So in other words, they need a concept of or a paradigm of more sustainable development goal. This has been not-owned event, overseas foundation and employment by a social enterprise along with original purpose of ODA, eradicating the poverty. And also some Korean social enterprise and also the NGO also make contribution to this. They provide alternative tourism, impact donation, or impact investment and employing in developing country. And also I like to talk about another cases of the Korean diaspora who lived in the United States. She launched the kind of the charity organization based on the Christian mission, but she turned into the social enterprise because she would like to provide the more sustainable business space for the development country. So you could see the water purifier. It is developed by this school student at Stanford University. It is made of the kidney purifier, the material. And also you could see the solar charged battery lamp. It's called D-lamp. But sometimes the charity organization and even the international development the NGO just give those kind of product to the restaurant. But it could be just a trash in 3 months. At first the problem is the switch would be broken, very easily broken. So why we could not provide those kind of the product or service as the basis of the local or community business? So the Israel Pride Empower try to inspire the resident people to be a kind of the business person. So using those water purifier, they try to establish the business of the community water supply. And also, they use the D-lamp as the vehicle of the organizing, especially the women's. And then they could be the seller of the D-lamp. At first, they experienced the benefits of this lamp. And then they could compare to the cost of using the kerosene oil. It would be very helpful to using those kind of the solar charged battery lamp, so they could sell the lamp to the other people, to their neighbor. Before that, they didn't have any income through the economic activity, so they feel some guilty. But now they become to be a very proud mom to support their children. They could help them to the schooling, and then if they are ill, they could bring the children to the very good hospital. So they become those women become the proud mom, and then they could transform their house and then their community village also. So now you could see the KoSEA is the public organization in charge of grant type assistance in Korea. Now my organization KoSEA and KoSEA signed to establish cooperation regarding ODA to the social enterprise. Now I'd like to summarize the role of social enterprise. Social enterprise are very significant in many ways. First, social enterprise get involved in the area of the market where traditional enterprise are not willing to get involved. So many, even the capitalists are focused on those kind of BOP market, and they call it kind of a frontier market. You know, the investor, the Warren Buffett always include those foreign frontier market in his the portfolio when he invests, because they expect a higher level of the interest rate and the growth level. But anyway, so I think it is a good chance for the social entrepreneur when we could collaborate with those people, and then we could make them turn into the more pursuing the social purpose. It would be so helpful. And second, they provide marginalized people with the opportunity to participate not only in the part of the labor market, but also the part of their society. So the social enterprise suggests new solution to social problem through commercial business. For social enterprise are able to provide a high quality social service more effectively and also efficiently. Lastly, social enterprise bring ethical consumption behavior to the competitive society at large. I think the social enterprise would have great implication and be a good resolution for Korea and the West as well as Asia, where go through financial pressure due to social welfare against the various social problems. When I'm preparing the keynote speech in this Zero Asia conference, I read the words of the word of the Bible, Isaiah 44. The pastor, the Martin Luther King Jr. already, it is very famous verse. Every valley shall be exalted, every mountain and hill made low. So even though the social enterprise main stakeholder comes from the vulnerable social group, they are marginalized group, and they are very weak. They didn't have any privilege in their society. But I think the social enterprise could be kind of the East, kind of the catalytic role for transforming the economies. So when the ordinary business people, if they look into the social enterprise, they must participate in the field of the social purpose performing. I have experienced so many, even the Korean profit organization now involved in the social economy field. So now we try to get involved, and we try to inspire the business people in the world, and then we could make a good transformation of our economy. Thank you very much for listening.